Love Katie. Oh, Kevin. Yeah, Kevin.
Kevster.
Daddy. Hit play.
This is Monty in the Morning, the show Phoenix Magazine readers voted #1 talk radio show in Arizona.
#1 during your morning commute.
#1 whenever news breaks during your day.
And #1 whenever and wherever you want to talk sports.
Now it's time for Monty in the Morning.
Hey, yo, man. How the heck are you? It is the Monty Show. It's only Tuesday. I just had that moment where I was like, damn, it is only Tuesday.
Only Tuesday.
April 12th, 2022. Less than a week away from Dreamberries and Bunk Cake at Mastro's in Laguna Beach.
Hell yeah.
I'm excited about that. We're going to talk about, and I'm not going to take any garbage from you today. You better be ready. We're going to talk about the pet peeves of food and culinary disasters.
Disasters.
BuzzFeed put out a list yesterday of the worst things people do to food. And I'm just up in here saying, man,
It's not good.
the habits and the things that people do to their food, is it just because you hate the food and you're going to try and get it down? Because some of the things that we're going to talk about, I have two words, Nutella.
Yeah.
Nutella, no.
Nah, I'm
Just
good.
no. Why with the Nutella? Ooh,
Nah.
hey now, what the heck happened there? That was like a shock on the ear from the headphones.
You gonna be okay?
No, I might not make it. Anyway, the point is we'll talk about food atrocities coming up because I think I think some people don't understand what they're missing out on when they do this stuff to their food.
Fat.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that. Jake is going to talk about Kevin Durant and his love and espouse the greatness and the unbelievable dichotomy of genetics and
I want it.
yeah, how shall I say, thirst for one's anatomy.
Right.
When it
right.
comes to Cadizzle, the Slim Reaper,
Right. Right.
and stuff.
Right.
Favorite athlete by far?
Yeah, for sure.
Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Dead or alive?
Is that a real question?
Yeah, I don't know. Dead or alive or just alive?
Just alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite dead athlete is?
I don't know.
Are you being serious?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. I know right off the top of my head, I'm telling you, it's Kobe Bryant. Easy.
Put me on the spot with these things. Yeah, it's probably Kobe.
How
I don't
many
know.
athletes do you like that are dead?
I don't know. I
Well,
have to think about
you
it.
know, Babe Ruth.
What do I just roll out of the rack and be like, all right, what dead
know,
athlete is
I gotta
my
tell
favorite
you,
athlete?
I mean, listen. I mean, Bob Cousy. Fuck, is Bob Cousy dead? Oh man, I hope Bob Cousy's dead. I don't know, Bob. God
Bob,
rest your soul
please.
if you're dead, and if you're alive, you're dead.
That's out of the window.
You might want to post it on Facebook. Anyway, the point is,
Wow. Wow.
favorite dead athlete. Maybe that's a topic we should do tomorrow.
I mean, yeah, it's Kobe. It's Kobe. Yeah.
Who are some other famous dead athletes? I can't even
Walter
think.
Payton.
Ah, fuck off. Why would you like too long? Well, trump card. Walter Payton is probably, yes, it's Walter Payton. Good call. Good call. Okay, I feel dumb. Anyway, all right, let's talk Quin Snyder and the Utah Jazz. We've been telling you, and I guess new reports are coming out. Listeners are sending me links to, the Mark Stein article from yesterday about how Quin Snyder and the Jazz are buddies that we reported a month ago. And we've talked a lot about Quin Snyder on this show. I think we can all agree with that. But now the question prevails, will Quin Snyder be the next head coach of the LA Lakers? And this is an interesting question because we now know that the LA Lakers want to interview Quin Snyder for their head coaching job. And we also know that the Lakers want to interview several current coaches for their head coaching vacancy because they fired Frank Vogel yesterday after 3 years and a championship on the job. So, Jake, the question is, A, should the Jazz facilitate that interview? And B, do you think Quin Snyder would leave for the LA Lakers?
No, they should not facilitate that interview. And I would just like to say, quick note on Frank Vogel. You just said the Lakers fired him after 3 seasons and a championship.
Correct.
How? How, bro? And this is the conversation. And this directly correlates to the Jazz. Should they facilitate that interview? Hell no. Are there people out there that think that Quin Snyder is the worst head coach in the league and he's the only reason this team is struggling? Yes, absolutely yes. We hear it every day on the show. We see the comments. And what I'm here to tell you today is this is not all Quin Snyder's fault. Are there some conversations to have around Quin Snyder? Absolutely, positively yes. The rotations, coming out of timeout plays that he draws up. Yeah, there are some things to talk about with Quinn, as there are with every head coach. But I want to make sure that we're all on the same page about Quin Snyder and his contribution, number one, to the organization, but number two, in the day-to-day with this team. So number one, Quin Snyder has been here like 10 seasons now, I think it is. 9 or 10 seasons at this point. He's done nothing short of sensational work with this organization. Remember, we're talking about the Utah Jazz with all due respect. This isn't the Lakers. This isn't the Celtics or the Bulls. Like, this is a team that is not in a major market. This is a second-tier team that he has elevated to a postseason contender and a title contender in some people's eyes. So he's done a hell of a job. But I think whether we're talking about Frank Vogel and the Lakers, whether we're talking about Quin Snyder and the Jazz, or whether we're talking about any head coach and their team, at some point, it becomes incumbent on the players to actually go out and do their damn job. It becomes necessary for Royce O'Neal to take the shot in clutch time in the corner. It becomes, necessity that Rudy Gobert develops his game, that Don develops his game, right? Quinn can't go out there and dribble the ball for these guys. Quinn can't go out and make the shot. Quinn can't go out and make sure that Jordan Clarkson doesn't turn it over 5 times a game. So I actually think that they should extend Quin Snyder, provided that they change the group of players here. Because if you're just going to work within this same formula, there's no point to extending him and keeping him around. You might as well just go and get a new guy, start fresh with a new voice, and hope for the best, But as we've discussed, they are going to change the roster. This team is going to look different.
See, I think this is what happens when we talk about this stuff. I think we go too far. Why should the Utah Jazz extend Quin Snyder? From what I understand, and I could be wrong, Quin Snyder has 2 more years left on his contract with the Jazz. So why would you extend him now? This team has disappointed in the playoffs, a team that he's been the head coach of for almost a decade. Why are you going to extend him now? You extended him previously. Let him, advance through these playoffs, see what happens, and then once you remake this roster, then we can talk about, hey, are we going to give Quin Snyder a contract extension? Because I got to be honest with you. If you're not going to blow up this roster, I'm not interested in having Quin Snyder coach this group of players anymore. I mean, there's only so much impact a coach can have on a roster. And I think at this point, if you're not willing to make wholesale changes to the players that are on this roster, Quin Snyder's probably not the right coach for this group of guys. If we're being really honest, I think you would need a different voice in the room. Now, having said that, if you're going to blow this roster up, yeah, absolutely. Extend Quin Snyder, make him the head coach for the next 5 years, and let's go about our business. But if you are not going to blow this roster up, extending your head coach, and this is just my opinion, I mean, obviously you feel differently, but if you're not going to blow this roster up, I don't see any point in keeping Quinn and his staff around.
Yeah, I agree. That's basically what I was saying. Like, if you're not going to make changes, you're doing the same thing. And it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to just keep doing the same thing over and over again, And again, that's why I say, like, I think to the people who are like, well, Quinn doesn't make any adjustments. Well, I don't think he's got the players to make adjustments. I don't think that he's got what he needs to fix what ails this team, Why are we blaming Quin Snyder for, guys like Royce O'Neal who refuse to shoot the 3 in crunch time? Like that type of play, you can't fix that. That is literally Royce's choice or Jordan Clarkson's choice to force a play or whatever the case may be. So, yeah, I mean, should they facilitate the interview? No, they should not. I wouldn't. If I'm the Jazz, I don't help the Lakers on any level at all, ever, And if I do have to do business with the Lakers, I'm going to make sure that I get mine and that we win the trade or the Jazz win the trade. That's how I'd be going about it as far as the Lakers are concerned. So we'll see. But no, I wouldn't be facilitating the interview. I would not allow them to interview him. And yeah, I mean, I guess I'd make him play out his contract, but that's not really how head coaching positions work. I mean, you're either going to let him just run the contract out and let him go to a new organization, or you're probably going to extend him before this current deal's done.
I'm not advocating. And by the way, we're talking about this because, Mark Stein claims that the Jazz are working on an extension for Quin Snyder, which very well may be true. I'm told that would not happen until the summer. And again, I think Quin Snyder's a really good head coach who has not met expectations at the team level. This team was expected, rightly or wrongly, and I've said for 2 years wrongly, but this team was expected to contend for an NBA championship. I personally don't think the roster's constructed to win at a high level in this league, not in today's NBA.
Mm-hmm.
That's not Quin Snyder's fault. He had a team with the best record in the NBA last year. They didn't change that team almost at all, the core group of guys. And you had the 5th best record in the Western Conference this year. That's not Quin Snyder's fault. But what I am saying is, if you're not willing to openly talk about what's wrong with this team, why are you willing to talk about an extension? That's just not the right way to go about things. And I will also say that when you look at the dysfunctional organizations around this league, and I'll point to the Sacramento Kings, this story came out about how the Kings were all in place to trade for Jordan Clarkson before he was traded to the Utah Jazz. The reason that deal didn't go through, Vivek Ranadive, the head man, the owner of the Sacramento Kings, wanted to go out and think about it. He wanted to take time. So the Cavs said, well, no, screw you. We're going to trade Jordan to the Utah Jazz in one of the biggest thieveries and robberies that we've seen in the last 5 years in a trade, because Jordan Clarkson obviously would come to the Utah Jazz, win 6th Man of the Year, and be part of the reason that the Jazz had the best record in the NBA last year.
Yeah.
All of that to say, I don't think there's some onus or some need to go out and extend Quin Snyder right now.
Yeah, I think that the thing is we don't know. I mean, unless you're in the organization, you don't know where Quinn and the front office are as far as timelines are concerned. So I agree. I wouldn't extend him tomorrow, but I do think that this summer when you make all these roster changes, obviously you got to look at the head coach and make a decision there, which is all right. Like you were just saying, he's got 2 years left on the deal. But if you're Danny Ainge and you're Justin Zanuck and you're Ryan Smith, you're sitting here saying, all right, we got this roster in place. We've done what we can do. What do we want to do with Quinn? And I think that Quinn is more than capable of winning a title in this organization, provided he's got the tools to do it. And
I think Quin Snyder will never be the reason you don't win a championship.
Yeah.
I think it's more likely Rudy Gobert is the reason you don't win a championship, and his salary. It's no depth off the bench. It is, no ability to draft players right now because you just don't have the assets. You have all these things that you're trying to dig out of, right? Quin Snyder is the least of your problems. And I agree with you. I understand that there's a lot of Jazz fans who don't like Quin Snyder. I understand there's a lot of Jazz fans who don't believe in Quin Snyder. But it's hard to argue. It's almost inarguable that the roster construction's the problem. It's not Quin Snyder.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to like his rotations, but he's won. And he's won a hell of a lot of games, and he's won far more games than most other NBA coaches. Now, do his teams collapse late in games? Yeah, they do. Are you too one-dimensional offensively and rely on the three? Yeah, you are. But what else are you going to do with this group of players? Because you lack athletes and you lack guys that can attack the basket.
Yes.
So, in my opinion, I don't see Quin Snyder as being some huge part of the problem for the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we're in a place where you have this. You've got a LeBron-led team, and you're getting booted from the playoffs because the coach doesn't know how to run the team. Not to say that that's what Frank Vogel did, but I'm just saying it's not like the Jazz have this elite roster and all this talent, and they should be dominating teams.
Right.
And Quinn's just like running a bad ship. I mean, that's not what's happening here. And that's why I say, like, for the people who are pro get rid of Quinn, go find me another guy who's available that is as good or better, because I got news for you. Those guys are not around. Those guys are signed, coaching their teams, and going through the playoffs. Monty Williams is not going anywhere. You've got what's his face in Memphis, Casey. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he's not going anywhere. You've got all these guys like Nick Nurse is a great head coach who the Lakers are going to pursue aggressively. So my thing here is understand that the grass isn't always greener on the other side. If you're going to change head coaches, number one, it better be a fit with this new roster you put together this summer. But number two, it better be worth it, because the biggest mistake you could make here is getting rid of Quinn for a guy who can't come in and deliver.
Well, and I think Taylor Jenkins is an interesting guy to bring up.
Taylor Jenkins, yes.
Because, the head coach at Memphis,
yes.
Because him and Quin Snyder are very close friends. They work together in the Spurs organization. And you leave guys in place like that, and you see that good things happen, right? Quin Snyder, you can say anything you want almost about Quin Snyder. He sucks as a head coach. He has terrible rotations. Again, it's inarguable he's done a ton of good things. You can go ahead and go back to the Ty Corbin days if you like. Nah, I'm fine. I'll stick with Quin Snyder, because Mike D'Antoni is not walking through that door anytime soon, right? Like the guy that you're going to see that is going to replace Quin Snyder whenever that happens is probably going to be a young head coach. You are probably looking at somebody that's not accomplished as a head coach.
Yeah.
And unless you're willing to pay big money, because I guarantee you, I think Mike D'Antoni's probably the next head coach of the Philadelphia 76ers, and it's going to cost them. Because where's D'Antoni now? He's on Steve Nash's staff at Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. But if you look at what's going on in Philly, tell me that that's not Houston East. That's exactly what it is. The general manager, James Harden, you look at the roster makeup there, it's the Houston Rockets East. It makes sense that Mike D'Antoni goes there, right?
Yeah.
But who's the Steve Nash that's the next head coach of this team? There really is not one. You are going to wind up with an inexperienced head coach coming in here to run this show. And I'm telling you, that's a mistake. In my opinion, you can only look as far as Gordon Hayward, going out on restricted free agent visits to understand why you do not want Quin Snyder talking to other teams.
This ain't even a conversation. He should not be talking to the Lakers or any other team. This is not well, we got to respect Quinn in his space, and we got to let him view the best opportunity for his career. No, unequivocally, no. He should not be talking to anybody else. And if you hear otherwise, that person does not value Quin Snyder and his contribution. I can't see, especially because it's the Lakers. I don't hate the Lakers, but if you're the Jazz, you really want your head coach, your playoff winning head coach, talking to the Lakers? I don't think so. Not even a little bit.
No, and I think, it was pointed out that Mike D'Antoni is an advisor with the Pelicans. Excuse me for getting that wrong. But I look at some of the other names that are being floated. Do you really want Doc Rivers? Do you really want to play in a pond with one of the hottest candidates in the NBA right now? Is Kenny Atkinson the assistant with the Warriors, or Phil Handy the assistant with the Lakers? You're telling me you feel like that's an upgrade to Quin Snyder. I just don't see it that way. And I'll say again, and I know I've said this a ton on this show, I value Quin Snyder. He is an elite head coach. I do not believe he's going anywhere.
Yeah.
I do think that they will pay him whatever it is he needs to be paid. I do think it's another reason why, and I tweeted what I tweeted a month ago. None of these things will be discussed until this season's over.
Yeah.
And I think when the season's over, Quin Snyder would be open to talking to the Lakers. I do. I think it would be dumb business for Quin Snyder to turn that interview down. But I also think it's far-fetched to believe that Quin Snyder will leave this situation in Utah with one of the hottest young owners in the NBA to go to the Lakers and try to, steer that Laker ship through a pond of crap. I just don't know. I don't know why you would do that. That doesn't make sense. Quin Snyder obviously has worked for that team and that organization, but I don't necessarily believe that that's a reason why he would be their next head coach.
Yeah.
I think Quin Snyder would be the number one candidate for any vacancy should he not work for the Jazz anymore. But that doesn't mean, and by the way, somebody was asking me on Twitter yesterday why the Jazz would allow him to interview. It is true that the process is in place that, the Jazz have to give permission because he's under contract to them. But it's up to Quin Snyder if he goes and interviews for that job. They will go to him, and my guess is the Lakers would go to his agent, and they would go to the Jazz, and they would say, hey, we're interested in talking to Quin for our head coaching vacancy. The agent would go to the team. The team would talk to Quin Snyder in some way in that chain of communication, and they would say, Quin, would you really like to go and interview for this job? Is this something that you want to talk to them about?
Never.
And if Quin says yes, they're going to let him go interview for that job. And if he says, well, why don't we work out his agent? My guess is if his agent is savvy, and he is, my guess is his agent will say, okay, well, let's extend Quin, and then we don't even have to worry about other openings.
Agreed.
That to me is that's the way business gets done in the NBA. That's my guess that's how this will go down. But Quin Snyder's always going to be a candidate. The problem is Ryan Smith savvy enough as an owner to navigate these waters?
Yeah.
I don't know. Does Ryan Smith realize what he has in Quin Snyder? I don't know. Ryan Smith, I'm waiting for you to impress me. I'm waiting for you to impress me because you haven't yet.
Yeah.
I'm waiting. And this summer, the moment the season ends, you need to kick the ball down the hill and start rolling.
Yep.
Because I think my guess is they already know what they're going to do. They already know if they're going to trade Rudy Gobert. They already know if they're going to blow this roster up.
I mean, we always hear about, like when the KD and Kyrie to Brooklyn thing happened, we heard a couple months later that they had already knew that that's what they were going to do. So it's not far-fetched to think that the Jazz know what they're going to do. They've had conversations, and, it's moving now.
I don't know. I see a lot of people, mentioning the name Sam Cassell. But why is Sam Cassell somebody that's attractive to you? Because this is a guy who has been under Doc Rivers' wing for many years now.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree he's going to be a head coach somewhere. I don't know where that is. But does Sam Cassell really fit into what you do in L.A. or, in Utah? I don't know that he does. I think he may well fit in for the Lakers. I mean, Sam Cassell would be a great interview for the Lakers. I don't know. My guess is that if Doc Rivers is a free agent, that's his job, because I don't think Quin Snyder is going to be a candidate. I really don't.
Yeah.
I really, really don't think that he'll be a candidate. All right, let's get some of your thoughts in here. Edgar Garcia, good morning to you, friend. Jeremy Bolton, what's up? You're early today, Jeremy Bolton. Teddy Wayman, how the heck are you? Eric C. says, Diego Maradona, rip. Yep, Diego Maradona, one of your favorite dead athletes. We started the show this morning riffing on your favorite dead athlete. And Jake slapped me in the face with Walter Payton after I had said Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
My favorite dead athlete is Walter Payton.
Mm-hmm.
There's just no doubt about it. I mean, there's a lot of famous dead athletes, but Walter Payton's my guy. You're probably Kobe Bryant, I would have to think.
Yeah, Kobe.
I mean, Baker Mayfield is dead.
Yeah, he's dead. Yeah.
Yeah,
he's yeah, it's not good.
Greg Hawkins, what's up? New Greg Hawkins sitting in a bathtub shirtless in another ad because Greg Hawkins is famous.
Oh.
Just saying. Good job. Good on you, Greg. Jordan A says, morning. Hey, guys, drop.
Oh, hey,
Jordan A
drop.
wants the hey, guys. Hey, guys.
Hey, guys.
Hey,
Hey, guys.
Hey, Jordan. Good to see you. I love that people continue to call for their own drops.
Hey, guys.
Edgar Garcia says, I think he will. Money talks. And with them blowing up the team this summer, it would be a good time to do it. Oh, I see. I look at it the exact other way, Edgar Garcia. I think Quin Snyder knows this team needs to be imploded.
Yeah.
And if you bring in a new group of guys, and if you bring in wings that can attack the basket, my feeling is that there's no better head coaching candidate for this gig than Quin Snyder.
Yeah.
Because that guy, I'm telling you, I don't know. I hold Quin Snyder in higher regard than most people do. I look at him as almost a basketball savant. There are not many people I would hire over Quin Snyder. I wouldn't. I wouldn't, and I'm hoping the Jazz value him the same. James Knight says, morning, lads. What's up? Jeremy Bolton says, Vogel was the fall man because of the ineptitude of the organization. Yes, correct.
He's
That's
just
exactly
a fall
right.
guy.
Yeah, he's a nothing. He's a straw man.
Schemers trying to control their little worlds.
LeBron.
And Garcia says, morning, muchachos.
Morning.
And Garcia, good to see you. He says, maybe because Quin's rotations and adjustments are awful. Yeah, sure. That's something we can talk about. Edgar Garcia says, I'm not saying he should go. I just think if Snyder has had any thoughts of leaving, he would for the Laker job. I think a lot of people value the Laker job.
I think the Laker job is akin to the USC job. I think that the Laker job is tumultuous. I think it is very volatile, but at the same time, if you can win a championship there, you're a legend.
Leonard Donin Endelove, LDN, says Nick Nurse
know
is
who I am?
Yeah, seriously. Nick Nurse is rumored to be the top candidate for the Lakers position. Well, I think most people, if you read the headlines this morning, it's Quin Snyder. So you're welcome.
Nick Nurse is a top candidate for everyone's head coaching position. I mean,
you're welcome. By the way,
you are welcome.
I tweeted that yesterday.
Yeah,
they would like to interview Quin Snyder.
Do you want to set up the meeting?
Rudy Sanchez says, morning, fellas. LDN says the Jazz need Nick Nurse because he is a better offensive coach and a brilliant defensive coach. Championship coach. Okay. Forgive my ignorance, but doesn't the head coach have a significant say in the construction of the roster? He does not.
No.
He does not. Well, I should say in dysfunctional organizations like Gail Miller's Utah Jazz that we saw over the last 5 years, he did not. So because Gail was very much detached from decision making.
You're so smooth with it, bro.
What?
In dysfunctional organizations that suck.
I didn't say that. I just said the Jazz under Gail Miller's leadership were about selling cars.
Yes.
This organization was about selling movie tickets. It
Bro,
was not about winning games.
Dude, they put a practice facility next to a car dealership. What else do you need to see?
Brilliant move, by the way. But now the Miller family obviously doesn't own the dealerships anymore.
Yeah.
So, And Garcia says, Sam Cassell, gods damn it, champion on multiple levels. Playoff winning, LMAO. Elia Kraft says, the only problem with Q is in-game adjustments, which Ty Lue, Spo, and Kerr have. They always had a surprise in the clutch. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I just don't know. Again, this is what I ask, and I ask this every time this comes up. What adjustments do you want Quin Snyder to make?
And the other thing that those guys have that Quinn doesn't is they have multiple guys who can hit a game-winning shot. So you don't know who they're going to go to, which is why they have the element of surprise.
And obviously, Quin Snyder's job is to do what he thinks is best to win games. And the number one thing people complain about, and we complain about it as well, is where are the young guys? The problem is, I think the one guy you can complain about not playing right now is Jared Butler. I mean, you see, and I think you're seeing it more recently, but Daniel House, you're starting to see the faltering as he gets more and more minutes. You're starting to see the three ball doesn't go in as consistently. Now, his tenacity on defense, his athletic ability, he runs the floor, he does a lot of good things. But I'm telling you, with guys like Eric Paschall's a 10, 12-minute night guy. That's it. There's not a whole lot of upside. And I don't even know what Jared Butler's upside is. Frankly, I'm a little surprised that he dominates in the G League and shows up in the NBA and more times than not shoots air balls on threes.
Yeah.
Stupid turnovers. Okay, well, we can coach that stuff out. But if you're Quin Snyder right now today with this group that you have, you're playing Jared Butler over Jordan Clarkson or, I don't know that Donovan Mitchell and Jared Butler work playing next to each other today, right now.
Yeah.
I don't. I think the turnovers would be too egregious. Greg Hawkins says Quin Snyder looks like Emperor Palpatine after he accidentally electrocuted himself. Could be true. He does. Quin Snyder does put off that corpse
That was
vibe.
so well done.
He does put off that corpse vibe, does he not?
Yeah, let's add him to the dead athlete list.
Okay.
Jesus.
Jeez. No. I think Quin Snyder does have that I am dead on the inside watching Rudy try to dribble the ball feel about him.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. Jeremy Bolton says, LOL, spot on, Greg, of course. Best dead athlete, Andre the Giant. Oh, pro wrestling dead athletes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, Scott Hall, absolutely one of your favorite dead athletes. Oh, I mean, there's so many dead wrestlers. Thank God Ric Flair's still alive. How did all these other guys die and Hulk Hogan is still alive? Talk about injustice. Jesus. When Satan doesn't even want you, you know that you're a degenerate, Hulk. You know that, Terry. Anyway. Anyway, bench freaking buckets miss for the last 5 minutes.
Buckets miss.
Okay. Jeff Johnson says, sup, fellas. Yes. Caleb says, Jazz in 4. Okay, that's optimistic. Do you think Luka Doncic... Luka, you prick.
Yeah.
Do you think... your thoughts on Luka's current situation? Because it is a little precarious.
Yeah, I mean, he's
got
rough.
a calf strain.
Spinal.
Do you risk, and it depends where on the calf it is strained.
Uh-huh.
I happen to know quite a bit about calf strains just because, well, I'm a doctor, or at least I
Back
play
is
one.
broken.
Yeah, I play one on the podcast. And when you have lower back pain, it's almost always your calf. You need to perform surgery. It's to fix your calf, you got to get an appendectomy.
I think that's HIPAA.
Yeah. Anyway, the point is, what I'm trying to say over here. No, I'm kidding, obviously. I know quite a bit about calf strains only because, A, I had a serious calf strain when I was younger. And B, I mean, it's just it's an injury that happens all the time.
Yeah.
What I would tell you about the calf strain game is that it depends on where it is. If it's on the upper part, the meatier part of your calf, that's almost always a better strain. If it's on the lower part down by your ankle where your Achilles tendon comes in, that's when you get scared. That mid to lower calf strain is a real biatch, dude. And the way that he strained his calf kind of plays in with an Achilles factor.
Yes.
Because his left leg was fully extended behind him with his toes flexed on the ball of his foot. And he went to push off, sniper, and
yeah, I mean, I think that, I think that he will try to play. My biggest thing for Luka is getting Kevin Durant. Like having that Kevin Durant injury where you tried to play hurt, popped your Achilles, and now you got to come back from that. And I think that the Achilles thing is very much still feared in the basketball community for good reason. But at the same time, I think Kevin Durant has showed you that you can come back from it and be fine, and be the same guy you were. So I don't know. I think the real question in the meat of the Luka conversation for Dallas is, do we think that we're a title contending team? And I don't think that they are. I think they're a good team, but they're not. Yeah, Dallas. Yeah. I don't think that they're a title contender. So with that in mind, I don't think that I would be pushing Luka's body any more than I had to. I would not risk an Achilles tear. I just wouldn't.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't either. My dog, who's going back to the vet, I think is trying to lick his ass right now. He had surgery. He had $1,000 worth of surgery.
Rhino.
Prick.
Hey, ass licker.
Thank you. No. He goes,
Fire and fury.
and by the way, no, I'm not talking about the dog liking the way his ass tastes. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
You said that he dragged his butt on the floor.
Okay, so my dog has spent the better part of the last 3 months licking his ass for breakfast. And
He is a sick puppy.
he snacks on it, and then he has it for dinner too. So we thought it was because of moles and ass vacuuming and whatnot. So we went through the process, XYZ, and he wasn't doing it. He was licking his foot, I think, but it's fine. Now my wife showed up with the e-collar, otherwise known as
is here.
the cone of shame. But my point is, the Dallas Mavericks are not a championship contender. Yeah. I would agree with that. There is no reason to risk next season with Luka. And I think Jason Kidd's going to meet with the media today. Luka had an MRI yesterday. Sources inside Mark Cuban's rectum said that it was a calf strain, and he has got no timetable for a return.
Yeah.
We'll see what JK says today. My guess is that he's going to miss a few games in this series. If it's seriously damaged, he's not going to play. He's done for the year. He will begin rehabbing, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But I would not risk Luka Doncic next year. This is not a guy that is in peak physical condition.
Much like us.
Well, I am in peak physical condition.
Oh, okay.
Look, Zion, take it easy.
My bad.
The point is, the point is, Luka's not a
Zion.
Yeah. Look, Chubbs. It's not like Luka's like some cut athlete. He is a how shall I say? He's a Three Biscuit guy. He likes his, what I'm saying, desserts and stuff.
I'm a carb eating motherfucker.
He is. He drinks full sugar soda, I'm sure. Anyway, the point is, but your wife's never hotter than your mom, so how do you live with yourself? My question is it worth risking Luka? Because I don't think they're a championship contender. With Luka playing, and if he's 90%, yeah, they're better than the Jazz. They win this series in 6 games. We go on about our business. Without Luka, they're not going to win this series. I think it would be the Jazz in 5 without Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
The Mavs might win a game because they're way more athletic than the Jazz. But I think this is a 5-6 game series if that, without Luka.
100% agree.
Let's see. Oh, wow. Favorite dead athletes. Greg Hawkins says best dead athlete, Rich Piana. Yeah, the bodybuilder. His heart exploded in his chest.
Dude.
You know, the funny thing is we were talking about steroids at the gym yesterday because I'm thinking about taking some roids. I'm not, actually. You know what I did yesterday for the first time in months, years? I took pre-workout.
Oh, boy.
I didn't really feel anything. I did not have exploding rectus maximus afterward. I just didn't feel like it didn't get me all jacked up or anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a lot of guys at the gym who are like, hey, look at me, natty ice, baby. And it's like, yeah, you don't have 18 sets of traps if you're on like natty, bro.
Natty.
So Rich Piana was a guy that was a Hulk. He was a
What do you bench?
And one day he just died of a massive heart attack.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those guys out there, unfortunately. You know, it is what it is. Tanner says, man, those Donnie drops are golden. We agree. By the way, as you're coming into the show and you're, joining the conversation, who's your favorite dead athlete? Jake's is Baker Mayfield. Mine is Walter Payton. What? What?
What am I even supposed to say to that?
I don't know. Nothing, probably.
Don't be rude.
K. Nurin says, I would rest anyone with this injury. If he's a starter, he sits. Yeah. Caleb makes a great point. That's why stars sit out those games. Jason Kidd played him only for that to happen. Shake my head. He should have took the suspension. That's the irony of the whole thing. Luka should have been suspended because he's a loudmouth jerk. And he had gotten his 16th technical foul. But, hey, we're going to rescind it.
3/4 of this is inaccurate.
Mark Cuban's on Shark Tank. We better rescind it. Shark Tank is a great show. If you're not watching it, you're dumb.
You're dumb.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Some advice on the pre-workout stuff. David Mina Domingo.
Okay.
Put your seatbelts on for this comment. If your pre-workout doesn't make you lick your ass like that poor dog, you probably need a stronger pre-workout.
I'm a man.
Wow.
Lick your ass.
Now, let's be honest. If I could lick my ass, I probably wouldn't be working out. I'd be at home licking my ass. But I can't, so I'm not, because I do work out.
Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe fuck yourself.
Yeah, could have done without that, David Mina Domingo. Thanks for that one.
You're now going to be referred to as Domingo.
Tanner Plummer says, my favorite dead athlete, I wasn't old enough to see him play, but I would say Reggie White. How do you know? You didn't see him play.
Hey, guys.
What do you mean? Teddy Wayman says Kobe for me. I
Yeah.
think for most people it's Kobe.
Yeah.
It's Kobe. I mean, I can't even think of other dead athletes. Like, who would it be? Like, let's do a list of the best dead wrestlers. Because they're like Kerry Von Erich, the best. Date of death they had, like he brutal. Being a wrestler is not fun.
No.
Being a wrestler is not fun. Like, it's not something that no, man.
I've never taken steroids.
That's a lie, Roger. That Roger Clemens, one of my favorite dead athletes.
Lidocaine and B12.
I'm just saying, like, there's so many that.
There's some names.
Oh, man.
Names.
Dude, there's so many that died under the age of 40. Like, just Chris Candido, Test. Oh, Test is dead? I didn't even know that.
He's a brilliant guy.
Yokozuna, I knew that. Owen Hart, yes. Owen Hart died in the ring, jumping off the top rope. Eddie Guerrero, yes. Eddie Guerrero was an ultimate heel. Like, he was like a Davey Boy Smith. Yes, one of my favorites. Like, there's just so many
That's fucking interesting, man.
that you're like, man, like it's just crushing that anyway. There's so many wrestlers that are dead. Like Chris Benoit. Geez, you remember Chris Benoit? You don't.
No.
He murdered his entire family and then killed himself.
Me?
Like, yeah, not good. Not good. Not good at all. Bam Bam Terry Gordy. Yeah. Oh, why did we go down this hole? Why did we do this? This is a black hole. Old wrestlers that are dead. Amazing. Mike Awesome. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Like there's Miss Elizabeth, the Macho Man, Randy Savage.
Randy.
Oh yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, there's so many great dead wrestlers. Oh, and Eddie Guerrero was a heel of all heel. NWO for that little bit of time in the late 90s, my God. Turn up. Loved NWO. Anyway, how did those figures sell on eBay? Anyway, the point is, Rip Muhammad Ali, Greg Hawkins says yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Tanner Plummer says, now a dead athlete I remember playing, Kobe Bryant, hands down. Yeah. Has to be Walter. These kids just don't understand. Yeah, I Walter Payton was my idol growing up. Like, that was my dude. And he died of, like, renal failure. He had, like, a really rare disease, and he withered away. And it was really, really, and I've gotten to know his son, Jarrett, a little bit through radio and broadcasting, and just really rough, really rough. Hey, did you guys hear the story about Darth tax evader's son-in-law, Jared Slenderman Kushner? He did a business deal with the Saudis. Yes. Did you guys hear that? Jared Kushner, they gave him seed funding for a stock trading business, a fund, a hedge fund that hey, I need somebody to invest my money. Well, why don't you call Jared Kushner? Are you kidding me? Yeah, the Saudis seeded him.
So dumb.
For a hedge fund. Okay.
Yeah. No,
Cool,
I'm
bro.
good. I'm good.
Play-in tournament starts tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Chaboy!
Yep.
Kevin Durant. What?
Nothing.
What?
That was just funny.
So how is he feeling right now? Like, I mean, I know you guys FaceTime all the time. And
Donnie, you're out of your element.
I don't face.
I should probably stop with like the homoerotic stuff.
Yeah, that's probably,
because Baker's getting jealous.
Daddy. Yeah, Baker's gonna get upset here. So
Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets host the Jarrett Allen-less Cleveland Cavaliers tonight.
Yeah.
Any way Cleveland can win this game?
No, probably not. I mean, again,
any way possible.
No.
Any way it happens.
No.
You can't see a path.
Nope. Not
Done.
even close. I think KD puts up 40. I think that he dominates them. And I think that I want to say the Nets walk away from this game easy, but I have a feeling that Cleveland's going to make it close, or like at least make it a game. But yeah, I think you have to go with Brooklyn. I don't even think it's really a conversation.
Ooh, speaking of Donnie, how about this story?
Here we go.
Italy seizes $114 million in properties owned by F1 driver Nikita Mazepin in his they believe that it is money that is laundered through his father.
Yeah.
That the properties are in his name.
This man was a bona fide scrub.
Dude, the oligarchs are struggling.
Yeah, man.
By the way, real quick.
Yeah.
Not that I want to get into this.
But let's get into it.
Does Vladimir Putin get assassinated? What do you think? Like, if you had to guess, does Vladimir Putin get assassinated?
It's the fucking vernal equinox.
Yes, he does.
You think he does?
At some point he does, because the only reason I say that is just because when you get into conflicts like this Ukrainian conflict, I think that
because you've been involved in conflicts like this.
Well,
from your experience.
Right. I studied history in high school. Like
I
know everything.
Look, I took civics.
Look, when the oligarchs, when people with money are not being allowed to make more money,
and they got money.
Upset.
Had money.
They're upset. And when the reports say, again, they're reports, so grain of salt, but when the reports are consistently saying for months on end now that the oligarchs are pissed, that the Russian military doesn't believe in this whole thing, like there's basically that Putin is on an island and he's the only one that wants this. you know you're in trouble. And the problem is that people with money, whether we're talking oligarchs or Donald Trump or who the hell ever, Reagan, Clinton, I mean, whoever you want to look at, when people with money have something they need to get done, it will be done. Like, it will happen. It's just a matter of time. So when you hear, well, Putin's really secluded himself and he's protecting himself, and I think that's for good reason. For good reason.
But did you see that Vladdy put like his top military guy in place now to handle the war in Ukraine? Like, that guy is on the ground. There's a new I don't think there's any way he lives through this. I honestly think, he passed away. He had a sudden heart attack brought on by poison. Like that, that's what's going to happen. Like, I think you can only cost people hundreds of millions of dollars each for so long.
You're crippling your country. I mean, with the sanctions and everything going on,
they defaulted on their debt.
Yeah.
They defaulted on their debt now.
Yeah, because they don't have dollars to pay their debt, so they were trying to pay in rubles, which doesn't have any value.
Yeah. Let's see. Tanner Plummer says not only is Baker getting jealous, but Jake's girlfriend is probably jealous too. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I would agree. Tanner also wants to know what Donnie has to do with the last story. Nothing. It was just a convenient bridge to get me there. Like speaking of Donnie.
Yeah.
And Jared Kushner is Donnie's son-in-law, but it is. Eric and Raleigh says when the American government freezes assets of the Russian oligarchs, they can then bargain with the oligarchs to get a regime change. Well,
yes,
I would be interested to see that happen because I don't think you're giving that money back, but I could be wrong. Putin will overextend, and it could lead to a collapse of his military, Greg Hawkins says. He probably won't stop until he takes all of his Malorussia, which is the area of Ukraine, Poland, Baltic, Belarus, and Moldova. Yes, I think he wants to put the USSR back together. You're right about that. He has excellent security, so an assassination attempt would be exceedingly difficult.
Yeah.
And he doesn't move a whole lot right now. It's not like he's out around. One of the things about President Zelensky of Ukraine that's so amazing is they know where he is.
Yeah.
He's out walking around cities, like he's out looking around, and they've tried to kill him multiple times, and they haven't been able to do it. Like, it's amazing the level of futility that the Russian military has shown here.
There hasn't been that major event yet where it's so egregious that the rest of the world has to get involved.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting for that to happen. Whether it's Zelensky's death, whether it's, I don't know what it would be. But I'm telling you, something's going to happen where we're going to have to get involved or NATO is going to have to get involved
Zelensky said it on 60 Minutes on Sunday. Somebody's going to shut down the skies over Ukraine. Will it be Russia or will it be the rest of the world? And yes, there is risk in putting in a no-fly zone over Ukraine, and it may lead to a world war. But if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. And the thing that stood out to me about what he said that really resonated with me, and if you didn't see Zelensky on 60 Minutes, you should go watch that interview. He made a really good point. For years and years and years, Europe and the United States were well aware of what Adolf Hitler wanted to do and what he then began to do, marching his troops through Europe and seizing lands and countries, and nobody did anything about it. And the U.S. only got involved when their hand was forced, right? And the world came together to defeat Adolf Hitler. And again, it feels like that's where we are with what's going on in Ukraine. I mean, if it's true that they used chemical weapons that they dropped from drones, if it is true that, and I believe it to be true, but if they committed these atrocities in Bucha and you're blowing up apartment buildings and train stations that are housing innocent civilians, and you're blowing up hospitals and you are intentionally murdering citizens as you walk out of town, how is that any different than what we saw the Germans do? How is that any different than what we saw Hitler do? It's really not. It is the devolving of society, and we are largely letting it happen.
We are. We're the leader in this stuff in the world, and we are the leader of the free world. So, I think that it It's almost, and this is why I say I think everyone has a pretty healthy fear of like nuclear war, but I don't think it ever gets there because I just don't think that Putin is willing to go that far. I just can't get down with the idea that you have a guy in Putin who is trying to do all this stuff and is willing to risk the absolute annihilation of his entire country.
Yeah.
Because without the country and all that, what do you have? So yeah, I mean, it's very much a situation where we're the big brother and we're watching this every single day and waiting until the absolute last second to come in and save the day and be America and we're the best.
But the thing that makes me crazy is you're listening to people like Tulsi Gabbard support Vladimir Putin. You're listening to people like Tucker Carlson on a nightly basis defend what Vladimir Putin is doing. And it's really hard to see like Russian state TV taking those statements and using them. And I don't understand like this idea that like Tulsi Gabbard is supposedly, the leading candidate to run with Donald Trump as his vice president. And yet she's talking about how the United States is no different than Russia and Vladimir Putin is this. Like, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah.
Like, it is remarkable to me that this is the time we live in and this behavior is acceptable. Like, what did anybody notice that OAN, One America Network or whatever it's called, is no longer going to be on DirecTV and AT&T? And they filed a $1 billion lawsuit to try and stop that. I mean, at some point, the free ride comes to an end, right? At some point, we get back to, no, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Did you just defend Vladimir Putin? At some point, we recognize that the Trump administration, supported Vladimir Putin, right? Like, we understand that going after Joe Biden and Hunter Biden on Ukraine was probably not about Joe and Hunter Biden. We understand that, right? That they were just a comfortable casualty of whatever Donald Trump was trying to do there. And it was simply just holding the door open for Vladimir Putin to walk into Ukraine. Because now it seems like that's pretty clear.
Yeah.
Like, this is, at what point do we stop this madness? And I'm certainly not to be confused with somebody that supports Joe Biden, because I don't. I think that Joe's not been a stellar president, to say the least. But I just don't see how we're so hell-bent on, like, the Russian TV doing a half-hour special on how Donald Trump can win the election in 2024, and the Russian government's efforts to help him do so. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, think about that for a minute, and then ask yourself, what should our role in Ukraine be? What should our role in Ukraine be? We stripped them of all military and financial support during the Trump administration. Stripped them of all of it. And now what do we have? We have them having their citizens making Molotov cocktails in factories that are beer houses, breweries, to defend their country.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Do you hear what I'm saying? Our world is so upside down right now. I just don't understand it. I really don't understand it. Like, we are so hell-bent on money and producing wealth for ourselves that we don't understand the impact of our blind eye and what it's doing to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
It's amazing. We've moved on now from Syria, but do you think the atrocities in Syria have stopped? Do you think that, that Ukraine is the last frontier for Russian communism? Because if you do, you're crazy. You're crazy. Let's see. Jeremy Bolton says Tucker Carlson needs his ass vacuumed. Okay, I don't disagree with that. And Garcia says, I call BS on mainstream media and TikTok news. Okay. Public opinion in America is against war. So look for an event to change public opinion to allow the U.S. to get involved. Well, Pearl Harbor is a great example of that. I mean, we were steadfastly against getting involved in that war until we were. Like 9/11 is a great example of that. We were looking for a reason, and there was our reason.
Yeah.
My God, if You know what? The funny thing is, and I think it was Jimmy Kimmel or somebody said the other day, like the Russians were thankful for 9/11 because it removed them as public enemy number one in the United States, right? Well, now aren't they public enemy number one again? I mean, they have to be now, right? Like we forgot about the terrorists and the jihadists, I think.
Yeah. Look, I think at the end of the day, it's we're going to get involved at some point. We all know that, and it's just a matter of time.
Greg Hawkins says turning any atrocity into a game of whataboutism is against America. Against America is just another form of American exceptionalism. Ooh, that's a big term. I don't disagree with that. I mean, a big reason why Donnie became president was because of Russia, allegedly. Not allegedly, we pretty well know that. And Garcia said, but when Iraqis did that, they were considered terrorists. It could be. I mean, when you can spin anything you want to spin, Iraqis never really. I mean, I think Vladimir Putin thought Ukraine would be Iraq. That the Ukrainians would just roll over and this thing would be over in a couple of days.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it didn't turn out that way. Did not turn out that way. So, I don't know. We'll see. Russia used the time from the spotlight as public enemy number one to rebuild and take back the number one slot. They did, and they came back to number one roaring, easily bypassing any terrorist because, I think they're the most hated people. All right, speaking of hated people. Yeah. Let's play some Cam Newton audio. This is amazing. So we've talked about this. This was a couple of years ago. We talked about Cam Newton mocked a female reporter, and I retweeted it because I knew we were going to talk about this today. And so there's been a lot of rhetoric about Cam Newton being anti-woman. And then yesterday, a podcast he was on published Cam Newton saying this.
A woman for me is handling your own, but knowing how to cater to a man's needs, right? And I think a lot of times when you get that aesthetic of like, I'm a boss bitch, like I'm a this, I'm a that, no, baby, like, but you can't cook.
Okay.
You don't know when to be quiet.
What are
you don't know how to allow a man to lead.
Yeah.
But you don't know how to cook.
That's just not going to fly in today's culture. It's just not.
I'm sorry. I thought you said that a woman can't be a woman unless she knows how to cook and be quiet.
It just.
Are you kidding me right now? This is a guy who stood at the podium in the Carolina Panthers facility when a female reporter asked him about route running and the physicality of running a route. And he's like, oh, it's funny to hear a woman talk about route running. And everyone's like, oh, he was just, no, that's nothing. Well, here's Cam Newton saying, yeah, hey, women should be seen and not heard in the kitchen cooking dinner.
Right? And I think a lot of times when you get that aesthetic of like, I'm a boss bitch, like I'm a this, I'm a that, no, baby, like, but you can't cook.
Okay.
You don't know when to be quiet. You don't know how to allow a man to lead.
You can't cook and you don't know how to be quiet. Asta, see you later.
Yeah, I just think that Cam, this whole thing, this is why Cam has never been a really successful guy in the league. I mean, I think to be really successful, you got to be good with people and you got to be good at what you do on the field, man. And I think if you don't have both of those, you're not going to be successful. And
Eric and Raleigh, fucking Cam Newton. Exactly
right.
I
mean, this guy is just. I mean, are any of us surprised by this? Like. I mean,
I actually am that you would say this out loud.
This man was a bona fide scrub.
Like,
don't talk to me about Cam Newton's a Hall of Famer. I don't want to hear that.
Oh no, Cam Newton's not a Hall of Famer.
He is not but people say that he is.
No. Really?
Yes.
Cam Newton is not a good human. Again, Satan had a chance to snatch him from our good graces in that rollover accident he was in, and
just a fucking vernal equinox.
Yeah, chose to throw him back, and that should have been all the indicator you needed.
Yeah,
because he is not a good person.
Yeah, and I think we just see it time and time again, and I think that Cam, he's just a different dude, man. He doesn't clearly respect women, but like the way he goes about, his outfits and like he's a very much out there kind of guy.
That's funny. 2 people have commented on the way he dresses. What on earth, Cam Newton? ? Jeremy Bolton says correct. Giggity, hope you enjoyed the Suns game. Thank you. By the way, Giggity wore our T-shirt to the Jazz Suns game last Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
You're a stud.
Mm-hmm.
He said Cam dresses like a clown and now sounds like a clown.
Yeah.
Tanner says, oh, Cam, you're such a D-bag. Truth. Eric and Raleigh says Cam Newton dressed for the job he wanted, and now he's got it. Yeah, unemployed. Tanner says, Cam Newton would be a good joker. Oh, he would be a phenomenal joker because it's a natural. No.
Doesn't make you feel responsible.
I just wanted to play that. There's nothing really to talk about.
He's not a good human. That's what there is to talk about. He's not a good human.
Amazing. That Cam Newton, how did you think that would be okay?
Yeah. I think that a lot of these guys, these athletes, think that they can just say anything. That they can,
You can't.
And you can't do that anymore.
You can't. Jason Whitlock, Big Dog O-Town. Give me some Mo Bamba there. Big Dog O-Town.
Mm-hmm.
Shout to Mo Bamba. Says, what do you guys think about Jason Whitlock? Well, Jason Whitlock, I know Jason really well. Jason Whitlock being at Fox Sports is my fault. I apologize. We booked him as a guest on the Jim Rome show. I personally did. But he's talking about he's just a cartoon character. Jason Whitlock is a millionaire and if you don't know, he used to be a columnist in Kansas City, and he's worked at Fox, and he used to be on ESPN, the sports reporters, and he just sticks his foot in his mouth constantly. And now he's trying to get into, he said something about Will Smith. He defended Will Smith and said that Will Smith is being used as a tool or an example of how we can cancel men or something like that.
Right.
And it's like, bro, Will Smith walked up on stage and assaulted another man, and nobody called the cops. And they
drop that mother.
They cheered him for that.
Yeah.
That's not to be cheered.
It's not good.
He's not a hero. Right? Will Smith laughed at the fucking joke. You get that, right? Like Chris Rock, nobody knew that Jada Pinkett Smith had alopecia. I don't care who you are. If you were aware that Jada Pinkett Smith had alopecia, okay, good on you. I guess you're just the man. Chris Rock had no idea she had alopecia. He made a joke about her starring in the next G.I. Jane, to which Will Smith laughed.
Because, it was funny.
Then Jada looked at Will Smith, who then got up, went on stage, smacked Chris Rock. Then 2 days later, Jada's like, well, I didn't want him to do that, and I wish he hadn't done that.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a joke.
But you applauded him. And now apparently he's just a tool to cancel men.
And now he's out of the academy, and now
for
he's
10
paid a
years.
price, and
for 10 years. And now he says he regrets it, and he's crying, and fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, you got up on stage and you physically assaulted another man. You committed crime on global TV and got away with it.
Hey, look here, man.
It's not a tool to cancel men. It's called privilege, sir. It is not a tool to cancel men. What if that was a white guy who had gotten up and smacked Chris Rock, a black comedian? What if that was a poor indigent man of any color who walked up on that stage and smacked Chris Rock? For any reason at all, he'd be in jail. But where's Will Smith? Sitting in a mansion, counting his money, polishing his Academy Award, which should be taken from him. Get out of here with that. Jason Whitlock is.
What does this say on CNN? There was something detonated?
There was a mass shooting and I was debating whether to talk about it.
Okay, let's not talk about it.
There was a mass shooting on the subway in New York. And what appears to have happened was somebody threw a smoke grenade into a subway car and started shooting. So, there you have it. Talking with Raphael podcast says, that's the look of a man in love with a woman that doesn't love him back. Seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously. Kay Nurin says, being a great athlete doesn't make you a great husband or man. No, it doesn't. Eric and Raleigh says, I still maintain that Smith Rock thing was work. Chris. Okay, so let me get this right. You're saying that Chris Rock and Will Smith staged that so that Chris Rock could sell out comedy shows. Well, what about the 10-year ban for Will Smith from the Oscars and the Academy? What about the fact that his reputation has been wrecked and he's already lost a movie role over it? What about the fact that he looks like a stooge now and he's a pariah and nobody will touch him? That was work? That was not work. That was not work. The fact that he's sitting there yelling, cursing on global television.
Yeah.
You think that was staged? What are you talking about? Smith did not take a 10-year ban for Chris Rock. No, he did not. No, he did not. No, he did not. And you know what? If Chris Rock sold out his comedy tour, cool. That was not funny. That was not. No, I don't agree that happened. All right. Now that you made me bring up a mass shooting, can we talk about the destruction of food, please?
Yes.
Okay. We've had a serious show, I feel.
Yeah, I don't know how we got into Ukraine and all this other crap.
It got very serious in this room right now. All right, can we have some fun by talking about people's worst atrocities against food? So BuzzFeed put out a list.
Yeah.
And on that list, they mentioned that people put Nutella on everything, including fried chicken.
Fat.
You put Nutella on fried chicken?
I swear to God, I'm not a Nutella guy, and I would never put Nutella on fried chicken.
Okay, let me confess. And I'm just going to confess this right now, out in the open in front of everybody. I want everybody to know I've never tried Nutella, and I never intend to.
Yeah, please respect my privacy. Next question.
I just won't. But here are some of the examples. I just did a Google search for Nutella topping. You can put Nutella on pasta.
Makes me want to puke.
Fettuccine al Nutella.
No.
What is wrong with you?
Dude.
Nachos Bell Nutella, which is Nacho Bel Grande.
Today?
No. Not even Hernan Gomez is putting Nutella on nachos.
Yeah, not even Hernan, Juancho, Nacho, Bel Grande, Gomez.
Here's the one. Nutella stew, where you mix onions, peppers, and Nutella with beef stock.
That's not what we're about.
That sounds like diarrhea to me.
Dude.
Nutella and French fries with ketchup.
No.
Because it's garbage.
You're mixing.
Dude.
Wait, let me get this right. You're mixing French fries, God's gift to humanity.
Man.
And cardiologists. You're mixing French fries with Nutella, and then you're going to top that with ketchup. No,
What the fuck are you talking about?
No, you're not. Nutella on your cereal in the morning. No.
No, dude.
No. Isn't all food crime based on the overuse of condiments?
Yes.
I believe that it is.
Yes. Like when I get fries, I don't drench them in stuff. I like at home, if I air fry some tots or some fries, I'm going to put the fries on the plate. I'm going to get my 3 sauces out. I'm going to do ketchup, barbecue, and some ranch. And then I'm going to dip in those sauces, and it's going to be fire.
James Knight says your dog loves Nutella. Yeah, he also eats his ass for 3 courses a day. I don't know, man.
Donnie, please.
Did you guys hear about this brain-eating amoeba that is in dog saliva, supposedly? Nah, I'm fine. Don't let your dog lick your face.
Nah, I'm good.
All right, some other food atrocities. Let's talk about French fries. Here's French fries. See, Jeremy Bolton, you say things that are hurtful.
What did he say?
My food cancel hot take. The E. coli burger from Jack in the Box needs to go. Stop it.
Sorry if you're offended by that.
Stop it. Big Dog, your comment got filtered. I don't know what it said. French fries. You eat French fries out of a bag, not out of a little paper container with the golden arches on it.
Mickey D's.
Pour it
McDonald's.
out of the container into the bag. Okay? That's it. And then you take your cup of, hopefully ranch, but acceptable French fry condiments. Ranch, mayonnaise, fry sauce,
dude,
or ketchup.
Bro, what? Mayonnaise on its own?
Mayonnaise, I didn't say I like it. I said it's acceptable.
Dude, no.
That is a common dipping sauce.
No.
Yes, it is.
Dude,
I didn't say I like it. I'm a ranch guy. I'm also a bit of a barbecue ketchup guy. I like mixing barbecue and ketchup to make a sauce. Honey mustard, the problem is...
You're casual.
Yeah, it's hard to find a good honey mustard.
Yeah, it is.
It's hard to find a good honey mustard. If you can get the Chili's Bar and Grill honey mustard, it's the best in the business.
Yeah.
It's the best in the business. But I'm telling you, places like Wingstop don't have good honey
Dude,
mustard.
Chili's has the condiment game on lock.
It does. It does.
Chips and salsa with a half bowl of ranch. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I haven't eaten in a Chili's in years. I spent 10 years working for them, which was amazing. But French fries really are, don't put stuff on the French fries. Please. Please. Don't put gravy. Poutine. Don't put gravy on your French fries, you dick.
Never.
Get the French fries, and if you want to dip it in the gravy, great. Just inject it straight to the arteries, right?
Right.
But ranch, ketchup, fry sauce.
Nah.
I'm not a huge fry sauce guy.
Yeah.
So that's how you do French fries. You
Yes.
don't pour the stuff on top of the fries.
Yeah.
And again, like when we go back to LA, we're going to go to one of our favorite Mexican places and get their asada fries. That's a different ball game. When you load French fries with like asada and cheese and death and everything,
And sour
okay,
cream and pico.
it's a different deal,
it's
man.
different.
That's not French fries and dipping sauce. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, dude. Yes.
Let's talk about burgers.
Yeah.
Is peanut butter on a cheeseburger acceptable?
Yes. Because it's peanut butter, not Nutella.
Whoa. Yeah.
Let's settle this right now.
My real meter's in the red, man. Like
Your real meter.
Keep it real. Keeping it real. I don't think you put peanut butter on a burger. Furthermore, here's one that'll piss some people off. You also don't put guacamole on a burger.
What a stupid son of a bitch.
But it is acceptable to dip that burger in ranch.
Yes.
Okay? God's semen is the best condiment in the
Okay.
world.
Did
What?
you just say God's semen?
Yeah, ranch dressing. What?
Dude.
I'm what? Were you confused
That
about something?
The word semen was just uttered on this show. What am I supposed to do with that?
You just talked about Kevin Durant for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, but I didn't say that I liked his semen. You
Okay.
just said that ranch was God's semen.
Look, man, we all have salt intolerances.
Bro.
I get it.
Bro.
I'm kidding. It's ranch dressing. I don't know. Call it what you want, man. Ranch dressing's pretty amazing.
God's semen.
It's ranch.
That's a new one for you. That's
Hey, man.
that's pretty good.
Hey, man. I'm just yes, giggity. Yes. You dip your fries in the Wendy's frosting.
Yes.
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 Greg Hawkins. Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy. Ranch should be removed from the face of the earth.
Go ahead and block him. And we're not sending you a shirt now.
Yeah, how do we block this? I already sent him one. How do I How do I block Greg Hawkins? Let's see.
He's a bum.
Ranch is disgusting.
Dude,
You're
Greg,
casual.
Greg, you're being a casual about ranch. Come on, dude.
Fisting your burger knuckles
Dude.
deep into ranch is the stuff.
So you have no frame of reference here, Donnie.
So wait, let me get this right. First it was semen, now we're getting a fisting reference. Jesus.
Ranch is disgusting. Fisting your burger knuckles deep into ranch is the stuff of nightmare.
Daddy?
Bro.
Ah,
Wow.
that's amazing.
Wow. Who said that?
Greg Hawkins.
Dude, Greg. You've,
Oh,
you've
and then
now
it-
redeemed yourself.
And then Garci totally got disgusting. Caesar is better.
No.
Oh, come
Dude,
on.
I don't want anchovies.
Caesar is better.
I don't need anchovies.
Said nobody ever said Caesar's is better.
Dude.
No. No.
Bro.
Fisting knuckles.
Terribly vexed.
Ah.
Dude.
Wow.
Wow. Man.
Wow.
Man.
Well, Talking with Raphael says, well, this is escalating quickly.
Lover boy.
Oh my goodness.
Ah, that's amazing.
Wow. Man.
That's
Okay.
K. Nurin says, my family puts ranch on their pizza, but I like chocolate
Ranch
syrup.
on the pizza. See?
Now, I know a good friend of mine in high school, Keith Horowitz, used to take a pizza puff and put chocolate on it. Nah, man.
I'm good.
Big Dog O-Town says, give me peanut butter. I'm trying to clog up the arteries over
Shout to
here.
Mopamba.
Exactly. I love ranch.
Yeah, ranch
Like
is.
I'm a wow.
Well, we know you love ranch as you referred to it as God's semen. So
It
we know that you love ranch.
It is. It is. And anyway. What are some other things? Okay, so
Over frying chicken wings is terrible.
Oh, yeah, and eating flats, nobody eats flats. Nobody eats flats. Like it's drums or you're dead, Jake. Promise me you'll never have drums again. You'll never have drums again.
No, I'm definitely having drums again.
Okay, chicken fingers or actual wings? Drums and flats.
Wings, yeah. Especially if you've got good ranch.
If you get all drums with ranch, a little lemon pepper, all drums.
Yeah, the lemon pepper ranch combo is pretty hard to beat. Yeah.
Man. Yes. I do not. Some other things I don't like is pasta, the way people prepare pasta. Can we stop with the trend of, let's just, okay, so I'm going to boil pasta. If you don't put salt in your pasta water, you're dead to me. Anyway, please salt your pasta water. So I'm going to boil up some pasta, Mom. Do we have any butter in the house?
Oh, dear. Oh, my.
Stop putting butter on pasta.
I will chain you to a pipe!
And yes. And furthermore, don't be the kind of cock who drains his pasta, puts it back in the pan, and then just puts shredded cheese on top of it. Know anybody that does that? Yes, you do.
I do not.
Oh my God.
No, I do not do it that way at all.
You telling
don't just
me
throw the cheese right on top. That's not the way you do it.
Oh, please do tell us. How do you put cheese on pasta that you melted butter on?
Yeah, you take it out of the pot, put it in a bowl,
then put the cheese on. Hello,
freaking casual.
No, you did not put shredded cheese.
Yeah, casual.
Yes, you do.
If you're gonna put shredded cheese on pasta, put some like actual red sauce.
No.
You know what I'm like? Actual man juice,
Nope.
red sauce.
So wait, now we've got a semen and a man juice reference.
And then you take a lot of cheese, put it on top, and throw it under a broiler for 3 minutes.
Okay,
and actually
a broiler, bro.
And
Who's
actually
gonna take the time.
You've got a toaster oven.
We're on to Cincinnati.
I'm not doing that.
You do things to pasta that should be illegal.
Well, it tastes damn good to me, so you know.
Well,
Too bad.
There you go. No butter or oil in the water. It's pointless. Thank you. Salt the pasta water. And here's another thing that really bothers me. If you're going to make traditional spaghetti, just like a stick of spaghetti, if you break that in half, I'm punching you in the dick. Like,
Wow.
I'm serious.
Wow.
Do not break your spaghetti in half. Just put it in the pan. Oh, but it sticks out.
Dude.
Much like a peen, it'll go soft and fall back.
Stop.
Yeah, please respect my privacy. Next question.
Okay, that's probably HIPAA. But just it'll fall into the water as it softens.
Think that's HIPAA?
You don't need to break it in half. Breaking pasta is a sacrilege. That's like you're the asshole that gets like frozen ravioli. You're like, why did all the cheese come out of the ravioli pocket? I don't understand. Because you're an idiot. That's why. Anyway.
Oh, man.
You can buy pan-cut noodles now. But why would you? You can. But why would you? Any other food pet
Yeah,
peeves?
overcooking burgers and steak.
Oh my God bless, man. You just redeemed yourself.
Thank you.
Please stop making steak that is cooked past medium.
I don't need
Please?
hockey pucks, man.
Please. I'm begging you. Like, do you understand? It's not steak anymore. Once it passes medium, it's not steak anymore. It should be a bright pink in the middle. It should have juice that flows out of it like the nectar of the gods. Like, that's what steak and burgers should be juicy, man, not dried out pieces of manure.
That's pretty much self-explanatory.
Like, I went to Ruth's Cafe up in Emigration Pass this past weekend, and they overcooked my chicken sausage to the point where I really couldn't eat it.
Empty. The opposite of full.
My soul was empty. I died right there on the chair. Well, that's because I was farting. But anyway, the point is, the chicken sausage was overcooked. Please, people. And that's the other thing. When you're going to make a hot dog or a bratwurst or a sausage, will you please boil it first? Please, I mean, I'm just you to me here, man. We're just being, friends. Just boil the shit first. You don't have to put it on the flame and overcook it and harden the skin and like.
Sorry, I thought you said harden the skin.
These nuts, like you don't need to do that, man.
Wow.
Boil your sausage, your brat. Boil it first.
I'd love it to be whiter.
Plump it up. Then put it over the flame for 35, 40 seconds.
Concept you and your sticky fingers probably find hard to grasp.
There's no reason to overcook your meat, bro. Man. God. Thank you, Giggity. Stop overcooking your pasta, you loser. Pasta is made al dente. And if you don't speak Spanish and you don't know what al dente means, it's not Spanish.
Where's the Italian?
Anyway, digame and stuff. My point is, if you don't know what al dente means, it's just a little firm. That way you can toss it in your olive oil and vinegar or in your red sauce, sprinkle a little parm on top, get the Texas toast and dip it in there. And
obviously not.
You're just a fat ass. Like, it's amazing. But when you overcook it, it's far less enjoyable.
You are, all right.
Far less enjoyable.
Man.
Monty got to keep it real. I like the flats. Oh, my God.
Wow.
Never. Okay,
Owned.
If you could do me a favor and just delete the shout out to Mobamba drop.
Kick it, we'll flow.
Oh, that's my boy, Big Dog.
Big Dog.
Let's go, baby.
We'll never play the Mobamba drop again.
Shout to Mobamba.
No, you won't. Wings. If you eat flats instead of drums, you're a vegan. Just be a vegan. Because
So that's how it's going.
You don't know what you're doing. Flats are not good.
Flats are perfectly acceptable.
Well, for Vladimir Putin, when he's broke and his ruble ain't worth a dime.
Pack your shit. Let's go.
Jagoffs. Like, who does? Are you kidding? Oh, hey, Monty, keep it real, man. I like the flats on buffalo wings.
I really don't care if you think it's sus.
We had such a good thing going, Big Dog. Man. James Knight says only thing that should be pink is the female genitalia.
Wow, James.
First of all, we don't.
James, do you and Cam Newton want to go hang out with Cam, or what do you think?
We don't weaponize the female genitalia on this show.
Dude,
okay?
bro.
First of all. Second of all, if you cook your meat well done, just don't. Daddy. I'm serious. Sell your smoker. Actually, don't sell it because you don't deserve to have money or happiness. When you cook something past medium, I just went Mike Tyson list.
Something.
When you cook something past medium, you do not deserve. When you cook your meat past medium, you don't deserve to have a smoker. Just give it away.
Here's what's going to happen, Tonto.
And sell your house because you should be homeless.
Wow.
Eat it raw, man.
You just said eat it raw.
Probably too far. People cook steak beyond well done. It becomes congratulations. Okay. And you see what happened were, let's see. Also, people who use scissors to cut pasta while they eat, fuck off. Nobody does that. Why do you have teeth? Nobody does that.
Yeah.
I cooked my meat past medium and ended up with 3 kids. Well,
dude,
when you drain all the juice out of your meat, bad things are going to happen.
God's semen.
Ranch dressing is the semen of the gods. It is. Stop arguing. Well, after the ranch comment, I'm probably going to switch over to blue cheese. Okay.
No, come on.
Guy, Tanner, you had really been on a run of awesomeness. And now you're talking about blue cheese. Blue cheese is, dude, nobody likes blue cheese.
Hey, guys.
They lie to you and they're like, oh, call it Roquefort and I'll eat it. No, I won't. That's just like my mother-in-law is marrying a guy who likes blue cheese. There, you have
He's just a hack.
That's the level of loserville you have to be in. See, that came out. See what I meant? No, I had a dream.
This man was a bona fide scrub.
So, in less than 2 weeks, my mother-in-law is marrying bullets on the table guy, right?
Yeah.
And I had a dream last night that I told him to off. Like, it was weird. Bowl of bullets is in my head. I had a dream that
quote bullets on the table guy.
That's his name. That's who he is. They're getting married like next week. By the way, Sunday I'll be at Mastro's and you won't.
Keep it real.
Everybody ain't able, but I am. Anyway, all right, a couple more because we have to go. Big Dog O-Town says, I eat both on an equal basis. It's all about equality. I need my Mobamba.
Big Dog, real quick question. Do you have like a smoker or grill or anything, or how do you make your wings?
I need my Mobamba reinstated.
Shout out to Mobamba.
Exactly. Greg Hawkins says, blue cheese is S tier, ranch is F tier. I also like flats, Monty. God. Why?
See? What did I tell you? I'm telling you that
Greg is talking about fisting burgers in ranch, and now he
kind of scruff it and play with it when it's wet.
And now he likes flats. Like, I feel like I'm the only man left on earth. Well, I split logs with an axe. That's a lie.
You split logs.
But do you know that that's a huge trend on TikTok right now?
Yes.
Men splitting logs with axes. I'd be the guy who'd hit the log, I'd miss, and I'd put the axe into my shin bone.
Daddy?
Yeah, no, I ain't doing that. So you don't like your meat black, Monty? I like it medium. I like hot pink center.
Yeah.
Little juicy dripping out. That's it. You should probably play the music.
Hey, guys.
Blue cheese, yes. Ranch is a fat no.
Okay, listen.
Jeff Johnson betraying me.
Dude, don't.
Okay, Jeremy Bolton. We've pushed people too far today. Blue cheese comes from Satan's rectum. It's so gross.
Jeremy, where's the Alex Caruso? You got to keep the streak alive, bro.
He mentioned Alex Caruso. He said Satan.
Oh.
See what I helped you there, Greg. Anyway, I hate dry steak and other stuff. K-Nerd says, I would hope so. And then Jeff's like, blue cheese, yes. Ranch is a fat no. Like, I don't understand that.
No, ranch forever.
I don't get it. Yes, sir. I have all kinds of cooking options.
Let's
Big
go.
Dog O-Town says.
Tweet at us.
Aren't flats just chicken strips? Yeah, bone-in chicken strips. Who
stop
does that?
with that.
Who does that?
Flats are not chicken strips. Get the hell out of here.
Greg says this has been a fantastic episode. I agree. All right, time to go. Until tomorrow, say drums over flats, Jake. Don't do it. Say it. Say it.
Flats all day, Jake.
Damn it.